In today's video, I'm going to share with you how I was able to take a brand new Shopify store from 0 to 10K a month in just 27 days. And I'm also going to share with you the exact Facebook ad strategy that I use to scale this store that I'm currently still using right now. So as you can see here, I've been able to hit 10K in just 27 days. Now, this is a store I'm still actively scaling because as you can see, I did this this month. So the strategy that I'm going to go over isn't a strategy that I did 6 months ago or a year ago. This is something that I'm doing right now that is actively working. So I definitely want to give you, all the sauce so you can implement the same strategy for yourself. Now, I do want to tell you some things about the store. This is more of a general store. I have several products on this store that is going after the same target audience. And so typically I normally like to do a one product store. That's kind of like my comfort zone. But this year I was really trying to push myself to do something different to see if you can get more of a multi-product store to really work well. And I think I kind of got the hang of it this month. And so I'm excited to see what will happen next month and the month after that. So that's something that you want to see. I'm more than happy to share it with you. Just make sure that you like and subscribe. But as you can see here, conversion rate is solid. Session times is solid. I've even gotten a few repeat customers. So that's exciting as well. And just so you know, it's not capped. Let me go ahead and refresh because I know a lot of people just do screenshots. But yeah, this is something that I'm very, very excited about. And also too, if you haven't started your store, make sure that you use the link down below because I have a discount code to help you sign up for Shopify. So make sure that you check that out. I'll link it in the description down below and the first pinned comment. Okay, so now that I've shown you this, I do want to show you the actual Facebook ad strategy that I'm using that, as you can see, is currently working and I'm going to use to scale this store even more. Okay, so now we're in the Facebook ad manager and I'm going to share with you the exact strategy that I utilize to scale this store. So as you can see here, from May 1st to May 27th, I spent around $1,644.17, and that averages to about $60 per day. But when I first got started, I was only really spending $30 per day. And that's where I recommend that you start off. Anywhere between the $30 to $50 per day is a really good testing budget. Now, you can start off with a lower budget, but it's just going to take you a lot longer to get the data that you need to know if you can run ads profitably. Okay. Now, if you do have a product that's over that $50 to $100 range, I would recommend starting off with a higher testing budget because you are going to need more money to see if you can run ads profitably because you just have a more expensive product. Okay. As you can see here, my cost per purchase for this store was around $13 to $14. And I got around 120-ish sales. My ROAS averaged to about 4, but honestly, as you can see here, Facebook only attributed around $6,700, even though I made $10,000. So sometimes Facebook won't pretty much say, hey, I got you these sales, even if they really did. That's all what attribution really means. So really my ROAS is closer to around 6. Okay. So that is really, really good. Anywhere between 5 to 10 ROAS is a really good spot to be in for your Facebook ads. So I definitely am going to scale this even more going into next month. But again, like what I was saying before, I was a little leery to see how well my ads will do. And I really wanted them to kind of prove themselves first before I went, balls deep with spending a whole bunch of money on this store. Okay, so now let me go over the exact strategy that I actually did. And so from a campaign level, I always use sales objective. Don't ever do anything else. Always run a sales objective. Anything else, you're wasting your money. So continue. Now, setup wise, I didn't do A/B testing. I didn't use Advantage campaign budget. For some campaigns, I do, but for this one, I didn't. And I'll explain to you in a second why. Moving on, at an ad set level, always select maximum conversion. Always use the purchase conversion, standard if you want sales with Facebook ads. Now, one thing that I did though with this, when it comes to audiences for detailed targeting, I stacked a whole bunch of audiences. Now, typically when you're testing, you can start off testing different audiences at $10 a day, with a CBO or something like that. But I found that now broad targeting and just detailed interest targeting is doing really, really well. Okay. And so you don't have to be super accurate with your targeting, because Facebook algorithm has definitely changed from the past. Before, you had to be very spot on with, your audiences and your targeting. Now you really want to put a lot of your energy into the creative more so than your targeting. Facebook is going to find your target audience as long as you have a good product and a good creative. So you really don't need to spend a lot of time trying to figure out, who to target, what interests is, all that stuff. Because I found that broad targeting is working just as well as interest-based targeting. So really spend most of your time on your creative itself. But I did end up stacking a whole bunch of audiences I think would work for, the products that I'm marketing. Now, when it comes to locations, I would recommend starting off with just your home location. If you have a bigger budget, then I would say add Australia, New Zealand, the UK, Canada, stuff like that. But if you have a very small budget, just start off with your home location. And if that starts to fatigue, then add other locations as well as you start to scale. And then for placements, I like to use personally only Facebook, Instagram, feeds, stories, and reels, depending on your creative. Some people like using Advantage placements, but me personally, I like to only use feeds, stories. That's just me. But I would test both and see which one works well for you. It can definitely differ depending on the product, but for me personally, I like using manual placements. Okay, so now I want to talk about the actual ad that I'm running. And currently I've been seeing tons of success with carousel ads, okay? Now, if you never ran a carousel ad, essentially you can put multiple images of either the same product or different products in front of your target audience. And so since I'm using a Shopify store that has multiple products, it allows me to put multiple products in front of my target audience without having to run multiple ads at once. So that means I get to save money. I don't have to spend as much money just to target the same consumer. And then also, maybe they may not like product 1 or 2, but they may like product 3 and 4, right? And that allows me to get in front of that customer, still have a good return on investment and still get them to click through the ad. So I've seen a lot of success with carousel ads. I recommend that you try them out for your store, especially if you have multiple products on your Shopify store. Try it out, but I've seen great success, as you can see here. Now, I know I went over this information relatively quickly, so if you have any questions at all, make sure that you comment them down below. I try to answer every single question that I can. And also, I recommend that you check out this video right here. In this video, I go over the top 5 high converting creatives, because honestly, if you have a bad creative, no matter how good your targeting is, you're just not going to see success with Facebook ads. So definitely check out this video right now.